Okay, everybody, wanted to make this video for everybody who is like me, trying to find out good information on what exactly you need to do a complete install of a ZS190 into a Taotao hellcat. It's going to be pretty cut and dry as well as simple. Okay, you got your stator here, comes out of the top. This is the factory one. Don't swap it over. I did that by somebody's advice and they were way wrong. Okay, all you got to do, oh boy, well, you just gotta, I can't get a, okay, there we go. You just gotta color match the wires, that's it. And any yellow on any yellow, doesn't matter. As long as the wires are on the same color, you're good to go. And that is literally all you have to change on the motor to get it into the bike. You can use your stock rectifier or regulator, whichever one you choose to call it. Let's see, what else was there? Oh, the exhaust. You know, you're gonna need a new exhaust. I mean, you can use a stock one, but even though if you bend it, it won't fit properly. You know, the frame mount hole right here won't line up, but you can bend it to make it work temporarily if you're broken, like most of us are after you spend all this money on this crap. But you'll need, I mean, you can use a stock carburetor. I bought a Mikuni flat slide and I'm pretty glad I did. You know, that was $100. You're gonna need a new clutch cable, and as you can see, this style here, these are the ground wires that come off the old motor. You can ground them directly to this plate, that way you got a good ground. But I'll put a link in the description for the stuff that I bought, and as far as like clutch cable and the other stuff. If you're getting a new exhaust, you can buy a box of copper exhaust gaskets. Got those on Amazon. They're like 10 bucks a box. And like I said, I'll put a link in the description for that too. And I mean, that's really about it. You know, it's not very complicating. If you have an older hellcat though, what I will say is you can check your motor mount bolts right there. And you can see mine says 12.9. So the new ones are fine. The lower bolt is buried back in there. You can't even see it. But both of my motor mount bolts are 12.9 grade, which is the highest grade you can get. If you have an older Taotao hellcat and you've never upgraded your bolts, you're definitely going to want to do that when you put a 190 in, and you should do that regardless. But you know, try to get one 12.9. I'm not exactly sure on the length of those, but you can pop one out and measure it. The upper one is, I do believe, wider than the lower one. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure about that one. And you know, just preventative stuff. When you get your motor, grease it, take this cover off, grease the starter chain. They have a shift star mod that you can do, and that's over here. You take this cover off, and right here where you see this little round part, that's the shift star is in there. And all you're going to need is 3 washers. It's an M6 washer, an M7 washer, and what I did, I went up to Value Home Center to get all that. There's another washer as well. I grabbed a 1.25 inch diameter by 1/4 inch hole washer. Okay, and what I did, I went through the bins and I looked for a 1.5 inch washer and bought that. It had a slightly bigger diameter hole, but that's okay. And when you install that, be sure to look from this direction and make sure that the shift D10 arm, that's the little arm in here that you're going to see with a wheel on it, make sure the washers aren't rubbing up against that. That's why I got the one with the bigger hole, so I can basically move it up all around where I needed it to be. You'll also need Well, you don't need it, because I did the shift star mod without taking the clutch basket off and stuff. But it'd probably be a good idea to grab it if you're going to be dealing with these motorcycles and these engines. You know, but the special socket for the clutch basket, which I'll put a link in the description for that too. But other than that, I mean, that's all you got to do. You know, match some wires, get yourself an exhaust, get the proper clutch cable, and you know, a little box of copper gaskets, and you're good. You know, I asked quite a few people when I was doing mine, and I got some bad advice and figured it out myself. So I figured I'd make this video for the next guy who's in the same boat as me and don't know what he's doing, you know, as far as the wiring goes, and don't know if you got to change the rectifier or not and whatnot. But this should help you out to get everything prepared for you, so when you do get your new motor, you can go ahead and put it all in, because you already got all the parts for it, and you can get right to ripping it and having a blast right out the gate. But I'm also going to do a chain swap on mine. I haven't done it yet. You know, I've had issues with this 190. I made a video in regards to the fix that I ended up having, as well as a description of the issue that I had. So if you end up having an issue that you can't figure out, go watch my other video, and it might just be the same issue you're having. But other than that, that's pretty much about it. You know, you can also, I got mine mounted forward. I'd actually like to turn this intake, so I haven't ordered the they call it a clocking flange for the intake manifold, where it's got a ton of holes right here, and you can basically move the intake, you know, any which way you want. So I'd say you're probably better off getting that too. And when you get these 28mm carburetors, I bought this filter here. You should definitely oil these, you know, because these don't come oiled at all. And you can use K&N filter oil. Just oil them up. And if you got to clean them, go ahead and to the dollar store, get yourself a bottle of Awesome. It's $1, and spray it down on the outside. Use the water hose from the inside, blow all the dirt out, let it dry. Once it's dry, re-oil it. These are reusable. Don't throw these away. Just oil them as soon as you get them and put them on. You know, that's the other thing. And 48mm is the size I bought on this. You know, and seems to fit pretty good. I mean, yeah, I got a lot of adjustment right there, but it's solid as a rock. You know, I can wiggle the whole bike. But that's one thing you should do. Always oil your air filter. You know, they don't come pre-oiled, and these are reusable. You know, don't throw your money away. But I think that should be about everything. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. You know, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if you notice, I didn't put my oil cooler on yet, because I don't live in a real hot climate. You know, it might be good for traffic and stuff like that and trail riding, but I'm also going to buy a temperature gauge that you pull out your dipstick, and it's a dipstick temp gauge all in one. It goes right directly in this hole. So I'm going to get that first, monitor my temperatures of the oil, and see what I got going on. You know, if I end up going above, you know, 212, I'd say probably 220 would be about the max I'd like the temp to be. If I go above 220, I'll go ahead and install the oil cooler. If I don't go above 220, then I don't need it. Also, oil filters. I almost forgot that one. Oil filter here. You can get the same exact oil filter that the Honda Grom uses with the Taotao clutch cover. So all you do, look up Taotao clutch cover oil filter. That's it. Same exact thing. No different at all. So that should help you out as far as your oil changes and stuff go. And I think that's it now. Yep, good to go. And oh, 3/4 of a quart of oil. I'm assuming if you use the oil cooler, it would be 1. I don't really know exactly just yet, because obviously I don't have it on. But when I do, I will update this in the description if I decide to put it on. If I don't decide to put it on, well, then I didn't need it. and you'll have to figure it out, unfortunately. But I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.